guys, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Getty, Academic Mama in Hong Kong. In this channel, I talk about all things building and growing your academic career. If you're interested in doing your master's or your PhD, and I also talk about life abroad in general. I know I've shared videos on the pros and cons of living in Hong Kong. I've done a video on how studying abroad can change your life. Today, I just wanted to come and have an honest conversation about life abroad in general. And this will apply to you if you're considering moving your life from your country to any other country, whether it's for study or for work. There's a certain mental process you have to go through in order to make that decision. So I hope this video will be useful for you if you're trying to consider if moving abroad is really for you and trying to answer that question whether you're mentally prepared to move abroad. You don't want to be trying to answer that question when you're already in a foreign country. The process of uprooting yourself from your country of birth, it takes something inside of you for it to actually work. A lot of people have moved abroad and left within a short space of time to go back home because they could not cope. So I don't want that to be you, right? So if you're considering not just coming to Asia where I'm based, any place abroad that you're thinking of moving to, any place up any place abroad that you're thinking of moving to, I urge you to go through this mental process of really asking yourself, what does it take to move abroad? A lot of us move abroad because of necessity, desperation, if you will, because of the situation at home, or we feel that opportunities are not available, the current environment is not supportive, so many reasons. It's up to you to consider your reasons. I invite you to write down your reason. Why do you want to move abroad? Is it because where you are currently does not fully support your growth, your personal development? If so, then you do have a valid reason to move. Do you want to move abroad because you have seen all the flashy pictures and reels, highlight reels of people's lives abroad, and you think life is greener that side? The grass is greener on that side, so you must move abroad. I'll tell you for free that not all that glitters is gold. A lot of people will not tell you the reality of life abroad. I have lived in Hong Kong since 2016 with a break in between during COVID, and then I came back. Um, of course, there are challenges that come with it being an Asian environment, but there are challenges living abroad anywhere. So, first of all, you've written, why do I even want to move abroad? Is it because of my push factors, right? There's something pushing you out of your home country right now. For us, where we come from, it's usually the economy. It's no longer sustaining me. I've got a family. I've got to take care of my loved ones. I need money that actually corresponds to the amount of work I'm putting in. So a lot of people in the African context work so hard, but you don't really get enough for your money. So you feel like if I move abroad, I'll be able to make enough money to take care of my loved ones, send money back home, build a house, do the things that I need to do. That's a valid reason, and that's a good reason. But you need to know why you're moving, because when things get tough when you get there, you need to be able to remember, why did I move in the first place? Because things will get tough. This is not your home country. This is not your country of birth. There are times when you're not going to feel welcome. There are times when you're going to feel looked down upon, discriminated against, because it's not your country. You cannot fear discrimination and let it stop opportunities for you. The second thing I want to invite you to consider is, have you taken stock of how much you will be sacrificing with this decision? And I'm saying this because moving abroad is an actual sacrifice. Most of us have to leave behind family members. For a lot of people, that's your social support system. These are the people that are there for you, that you can call in an emergency. So imagine now you're going oceans away and you're going to have to start from scratch, building a completely new network of people. And in some places, it's easier than it is in other places to form that social network. How much are you willing to sacrifice? Your social life, your support system, your mental health, particularly if you're the kind of person that thrives around society and being around people. Life abroad is usually very isolated. Life abroad is usually people are working, people are busy, people also mind their own business. Particularly if you're moving to the West, these are more individualistic societies rather than collective societies, meaning they don't necessarily emphasize coming together unless it's a special holiday or festival or particular occasion. People are pretty much doing their own thing. But here it's so much more pronounced. You don't even know your next door neighbors. No one checks in on you. No one knocks on your door. No one knocks on your door to ask for salt. If you're an African, you know what I mean. So that can take a toll if you're one of the people that thrives in society. And I think I've shared in a previous video how people don't even greet here. And if that's your thing, you want to talk to everyone, you're a bubbly person, you want to be walking around greeting. In places such as where I am in Asia, people will look at you funny. I lived in Europe. Again, it's not as open as we would want it to be, right? How much are you willing to sacrifice? Because again, depending on how much money you're making, and usually in the first couple of years when you move, you're not going to be making that much money. You're going to be hustling to survive. You're going to be working to afford the lifestyle that you now have, which is usually very high standard, high rentals. You're paying rent, you're paying whatever other expenses, whatever money you have left, you're sending home, you're trying to balance it out. So it's not really about the money, because at the end of the day, once people get to this place, they abroad, then they realize the money, unless you work for it, you don't get it. So that means you're always working, and that means there's no time for anything else. And is it really worth leaving your support system, your people? And is it really worth missing the important events in your personal life because now you're living oceans away? My father passed away in 2017 and I could not go for his funeral. And this is a common story for a lot of people that have moved abroad, that you kind of have to weigh the price of the ticket, when it happened. And most people at home would prefer you sending whatever money you're going to spend for the ticket to actually help out with funeral expenses and anything else that needs to be done for you to actually move your body to go there. You miss out the moments, the last moments when people are sick. You miss out the important events. This is not a morbid video to tell you abroad is bad. No, there are good things about living abroad. But as I mentioned, this is a mind check. You need to just kind of check these issues to see how much are you willing to sacrifice. Third thing, this is a mental checklist, as I said. Third thing, are you moving with your family? If so, do you have enough resources to take care of your family? Are you leaving them and then they follow you after a bit of time? Meaning you're going to be separated for a time. Are you prepared for that? Long distance marriage, long distance relationship, that comes with its own kind of dynamic. Again, it's that sacrifice that you're willing to make for the greater good. But is it really the greater good, right? Because a lot of people are sacrificing so much just to get degrees and jobs that actually eat away at their soul. At the end of the day, you realize you've left your home country for a life that you thought was going to be better than where you were, only to come and pick up a host of mental health issues, isolation, and so many other negative things. This is just a mental checklist for you to check. We don't only want to talk about the positive things, we need to be realistic here. Yes, your life is going to be better in terms of the standard of living. You're now experiencing an international, global life that's going to open up a lot of doors for you. It works for some people, it doesn't work for some. It depends what your goals are in life. But think about how much you're actually willing to leave behind. A lot of people are selling things that they've accumulated over years just to come abroad and start from scratch. Are you willing to make that kind of transition where you start from nothing But yes, some people would argue that I'd rather be in a well functioning economy and start from scratch than to spend years and years in a dysfunctional economy and not achieve anything, right? So that's okay. You also need to think about how long are you willing to do this for? A lot of people, particularly from third world countries, I know they don't want to live abroad for the rest of their lives. They look at coming abroad, coming to a foreign country as temporary thing that I'm just going to do for a year or two and then I go back. Maybe you want to teach English, maybe you want to experience a different culture, maybe you just want to experience something new for a short period of time and then you're going to go back. Maybe you want to work for 5 years, save up to build a house, and then go back. What is your plan? Are you looking for permanency? Are you looking to get a passport from that country? Are you looking to live full term? And what does that look like? What does that mean if you decide to make your life in this place? Is it a child friendly place where you can raise children, where you can start a family? You need to answer these questions before you make a move. A lot of people are regretting once they arrive to a place to realize that I actually cannot raise kids here. My children will not thrive in school here. They will be bullied, or they will experience ABCD, or it's even difficult to get a place for school, even though maybe the education is high standard. What are those conditions looking like? Will you be able to cope? I have good and bad times. Pride myself in being experienced in living abroad. As I said, I left my home country when I was 19 and I turn 40 next year, meaning I'm 39. So I've lived abroad. I've lived outside of my home country for plus minus 20 years. That's a long time. I just had to take a moment. Is my math correct? 1939. So I've lived outside of my home country for 20 years. That is a lifetime. And sometimes what really gets to me is sometimes what really gets to me is when you now do that math of what do I have to show for the 20 years that I've been away, because then that comes with a lot of expectation, right? You've lived abroad for this for X amount of years. What do you have to show for it? Even when you go home, a lot of people then expect you to have resources, to have all these things. And then there's this question that's been going around where people wonder, should you focus more on the place that you've moved to and stop trying to invest at home, trying to return home, put all your focus where you are? Because I think that's the other thing with people that move to a foreign country. You're torn in between two places. You're thinking of developing where you're coming from, but you're also trying to have a life where you are. How do you balance that? I've lived outside of my home country for a very long time. If I could go back home to live, I would, but I will tell you for free that I it's not the right time for me to go right now because I have a toddler. I'm trying to make sure that she has better opportunities for her life, better than the ones that I was exposed to. So definitely I'm going to be staying here for a while as long as I have a job and a permit. So these are the considerations you need to make, because can you actually live for a while in that country? What are the visa opportunities for you to extend? If you come here on a study permit, can you extend your study permit from study to work? And how easy is that? Can you then extend said work permit? Is there an opportunity to transition? China, Hong Kong right now is having a lot of talent programs. They're looking at internationalizing and bringing in a lot of different people. So if you have skills, there are opportunities for you to get a 5 year visa, for example, as long as you have the skills. And there's lots of opportunities to extend study visa, from study visa to transition to work visa. So these are the things that you need to consider. The country that you're going to, can I transition easily from study visa to work visa? The visa requirements and the permanency requirements if you want to make it long term. There's a lot of things. I feel like this is a conversation that will go on. There's so much that needs to be considered that I feel like a lot of us are not really considering.